Hi everybody, I'm Anucha from Moms and Crafters, and today I'm going to show you how I do a charm party at events. Here is just an example charm bracelet, and I'm going to not just show you how to make this, that's fairly simple, but I'm going to show you a general setup, how I transport things in case you want to start hosting your own charm parties. This is really fun, and my goal is going to be to give kids the opportunity to basically shop their own charm bracelet. So you can see this is a sample display, and I'm going to be making another sample for this display in this video. When I go to the party, I try to have everything basically good to go and ready set up. So I have everything already in the bins that I'm going to be using. I do hope to eventually get acrylic bead organizers, larger ones with more things. But for now, I'm using these little condiment dishes that I got $2 for 12 at the dollar store. So these are my jump rings, and what I do is I stack them. This only works if they're not totally full. Ideally, they're half full. These are a little bit more. I stack them, and then I use an empty one to cover it, and I seal with it with the rubber band. The ones that are fuller, and I'm going to show you how I set them up now, are going to be open, but they'll be in a Ziploc bag, and we are going to, have to refill the top one. For the most part, we do try to keep them upright, but some will fall out. One of the big elements of these kinds of parties is the curation. I spent a lot of time curating charms, and the cool thing about charm bars is that you can really put things on a specific theme, and it makes a beautiful take-home gift. So here are these little boba charms that I found. Like, I couldn't resist it. It was a little on the pricier end of things. Kids do sometimes tend to hoard the charms. So it gets to be a little bit pricey. If you spend too much, you can't spend 50 cents on a charm, because then you're basically going to not even cover your costs on what you're charging, unless you're charging really a pretty penny per party. But that's something for a different time. So those flip-flops, this is really a fashion-themed party that we're doing it for. So I got like hair dryers and stuff like that. And I'm going to set them up all like this. We got a ton of these sunglasses because they're so cute. They are a little bit bigger than I realized. We got these resin croc charms. I mean, Crocs is a brand name. These are obviously not, but they're clogs, foam clogs. And we have some musical notes. Silver charms are a little bit hard to find in color. When I arrive at the party, I'm going to basically be lining it up like this so that it just looks like one big row where people can shop for their own charms. These were the main ones that I got to go with the party theme. They're cosmetic themed. You can see these are a little bit nicer. These are music ones. This is a pack that would be great for a music themed party, but I just decided to put it out for this party because it's a cute theme. There are some handbags. And here we have more lipsticks. And here, this is actually leftover themed charms from another party. So we're putting it out by this party also. We also have our jump rings. We have them in a few separate things so we can scatter them throughout the table, but I'm just going to show it to you here. I do also like to add some beaded charms because some people like to add that kind of look to their bracelet, and it lets those who aren't, so for this style to make, a beaded charm bracelet. Originally, I would only set them out in this one, but when you're putting out a lot of different styles of charms, you don't want to mix them up too much. So I'm going to show you what I have here. So just so you know, all the links to the products I'm using, I'm going to drop in the description of this video. As close to what I use as possible, but not everything is so available online. But I will link whatever I got. These are lock and keys. These came actually in sectioned bins, but I combined them so they're a little bit easier to use. You can see each one comes with a lock and a key. So this is the silver pack and a gold pack. Alphabet. Now, Alphabet, you always run the risk that you're going to be left with a bazillion X's, but they're very popular. So I do try to provide them in minimal amounts. I don't necessarily count to make sure I have enough for each person to find their initial. I just get a few packs, and usually it's enough. This is a beautiful floral pack I picked up just to get them a little bit more, spring vibes. Now, by every single one, I always have a gold mix, silver mix, and a colorful enamel charm mix. Now, the cool thing about this is that it really keeps kids busy. When it's spread out like this, they sort of like run through it quickly. With this, they'll sit through and look through. So because I have this, I didn't feel the need to provide two of these. At previous parties, I did two smaller ones of this, but we are probably going to keep it more compact and split the kids up in two different activities for this one. And so this will be spread out in a few clusters throughout the table. This is for about 12 people at once. Now for the bracelets themselves, sometimes I provide bracelets, sometimes I provide also necklaces, depending on the person's choice. But I have these beautiful charm bracelets, and I have them on display, on a bracelet display. I apologize, I can't take off my camera and show you, but I will definitely show you. I will try and show you the actual party setup at the end, or actually I might just insert it here. I'm recording this in my studio. But here I have the full selection of bracelets, and they can really just take it. It's 3 different types of bracelets, the same thing in gold and silver, and then another silver style. So I'm going to do, for starters, a silver style. Now, here's the bracelet. I do also have, of course, tools set up for the kids, and every participant is going to get a little acrylic bowl like this that they can collect their charm in. And now they can go charm shopping. So let's say I'm going to do a basic purple silver charm bracelet. So here we have this one. Let's add in a smiley face, a musical note. Now on my samples, I'm going to try not to use too many of, the really highly specialized one. I think I'm going to put a croc charm. We'll do a couple of flip-flops. And now we are going to choose a couple of these. So let's go with this cute little butterfly and an owl. So now I have my charm selected, and I'm going to lay it out. So what I teach the kids to do is to put it out like this. I did actually have to shorten these bracelets. They came so long. And then to sort of like go like this and lay it out and sort of gauge what they want from their bracelet. Now you can see I have way too many charms. I don't need so many. We're going to put back the musical note and replace it with the dragonfly. So we're going for like a spring summer theme here. And so we're going to put back the owl. We're going to do a flip-flop in between, another flip-flop, and this. So you can see that's sort of how I've laid out a simple themed bracelet. And for the actual instruction, so I did put the bigger jump rings in here. The smaller ones I use mainly for beading, which I will also create a video for. Now, usually I provide 1 pair of pliers per kid. They don't usually get to it all at the same time, so they can use 2 pliers if they need to, but most of them can't handle 2 pliers at once. So now I show them to sort of just add their beads where they selected it. What I show the kids to do is and I do also provide jump ring rings, but again, most of them don't usually use it. They usually do better just using their hands for that stage. So I show them to open it in a backwards, forwards motion so that they're not weakening it. And there we go. And then they close it in the same backward, forward motion. Make sure it's closed well. The kids love this. They really feel like they're shopping in their own charm store. It's great for multiple ages. When you have like a party with multiple age groups together, you really will need help because, an assistant or something. I usually do bring a teenage assistant. She really is helpful. She's good with the kids. And you need somebody who can just open and close jump rings. It's not very advanced, but who will be good and patient with the kids because, the last party I did, we had really diverse age groups. We had a bunch of 6 and 7-year-olds, and I thought the parents would be helping if they were doing the activity that young, but the parents were just busy talking to their friends, which is understandable. I would be the same. But some kids really needed help, and there were actually some younger kids who were there without their parents. The teenagers really had a grand time with it. They tried matching things up, which is one of the reasons I did provide this time more sets of charms rather than just the mixes. Because I see that sometimes you have the social aspect is that they do want to match with their friends and do it together. I provided number charms. I was like, I don't know what people are going to do with numbers. You know what they did? I am no longer the owner of a 6 charm and a 7 charm, but all the other ones are still there. So there you go. So while we arranged our charms with general spacing, as you can see, I'm not really keeping my bracelet so in position. You can tell kids to count chain links. That's how you do it the most professionally, the most cleanly, but also they can just eyeball it, which is really what I'm doing in this video. Here is our charm bracelet. You can see how cute it looks. So this is another sample that we're going to have hanging on our sample rack. I like to show different styles. I like to show some with more aligned with the party theme. Now I have one of each with each bracelet style so they could visualize what they can do with each one. So this is our sample setup, and I'm going to create one more sample in the party theme. Now I will be creating custom charms for this party. I'm going to leave a placeholder for it, but you're going to see it in the final images because I haven't cut the charms yet, so I still have to make them. So in my inspiration and when I design these charm bracelets, I tend to choose things that are really in the same color scheme. You can see that I'm doing reds and blacks over here and really sticking to one specific look. Now, obviously, when you teach, you do want to teach kids how to design well, but also understand that these are kids in a candy shop, and they are just going to see charms that they like, and they're not going to think too deeply into it, and that's okay. The main thing is that they really get that experience of feeling like they're shopping for charms. And if my examples are showing them how to make a beautifully designed bracelet, that's all that we need. The kids really just chose charms based on what they related to the best, what was the most on trend. They really did not think too deeply into visuals. And in fact, I felt so pressured to be able to have silver charms available so that those who prefer silver jewelry can, have charms that match their bracelets. But honestly, the kids just mixed and matched the colors. They didn't even pay attention to the metal colors, even though I had pointed it out in advance. All right, and here we have our cosmetic theme, and that's the placeholder for the theme charm. It's going to be cut from black acrylic, cut and engraved. So I'm going to do that shortly and show it to you in the final imagery. And I am also, I decided to make another sample, and I might as well show you how I do it. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to showcase using just these. Now, if you're doing these I prepared myself. If you're doing these, I highly recommend you get a one-step looper. I did these without. I only got it after I did these, and I got it after for a reason. It was insane. It was insane to do that on my own. So I'm eyeballing this. I'm not like going very exact. Beaded charms like this definitely work better, clustered closer together. You can even cluster it more. I just didn't want to use up all my beaded charms for this one. And the truth is the kids don't use these a lot, but the kids that did use it really appreciated having it because it added sort of like a more jewelry look, especially older kids. Now, because these have open head pins, you really can connect them directly to the chain. Because like these are people who officially are beginners. They don't know how to make jewelry necessarily. There's always a few people at the party who already do. Because of that, I just keep the tutorial consistent for each one. I'm not, starting to show them that they can do that. It's just going to confuse them, and they're going to try doing it on these, and they're not going to understand why it's not opening. So we just keep the tutorial consistent throughout the party. Here we have final bracelet, and this is going to be my sample display of charm bracelets. Now, if you enjoy party ideas like this one and fun tutorials, we do a lot of jewelry making, but not exclusively, practical tips and thorough explanations. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. There's a link to all the materials that I used and a full blog post detailing how to do this with additional tips that might have come up after I filmed this video. Head over to the link in the description of this video where I share all of that. Happy crafting!